What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sips of Success. This is episode number 5.
Woo!
We're so excited because I feel like this is a milestone. You know,
Yeah.
you make it to 5, 10, or 15, or whatever the case may be. So, episode number 5. I am Cameron, host number 1, and host number 1, too, as well as my beautiful wife is.
I'm Erin. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
What are we sipping on? Because this looks amazing. Wow.
We are sipping on. So, I'm back in my cocktail bag. You know what I'm saying?
Cheers.
So, this is the first cocktail I've made since like earlier this year, like I don't know, before June. Anyway, this is called a Campfire Mule. It is whiskey or bourbon. I use whiskey. Uncle Near's is a black-owned whiskey brand. It has lemon juice, maple syrup, and ginger beer, all included, and then garnished with a burnt marshmallow.
It's got an interesting taste.
What does it taste like? I think it's the smoked.
Yeah,
it's the smoked whiskey.
It is. It's good. It's just, I don't think it's what I expected.
I think it's the lemon.
Maybe
juice
the
with
lemon.
The lemon is hidden with the smoke,
I think it might be a little too lemony.
so less lemon.
Yeah, I would take a little bit of the lemon out.
This is why we make the cocktails to perfect them.
Yeah, I'm like a cocktail critic. I'm like, make this a
Babe, that
little
sounds
sweeter.
so bad.
Make this that does sound bad. But like only with Cameron, like if he's making a cocktail, I want it to be busting, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll give him very good constructive feedback based on my taste buds. But we'll leave a recipe in the description.
Yeah.
We'll probably try to make it again before we put the recipe down there so we can tell you like the perfect recipe.
Yeah,
But it is
exactly.
good. And it's also very like seasonal.
It's for the perfect time of the year. You know, it's November.
Campfire vibes.
Yeah.
Okay. This or that. This one's for the ladies. Would you rather know you are about to get engaged, or would you rather it be a complete surprise? Well, I can't ask you because
I mean, yeah. I guess my opinion on that is, as the guy proposing, I would hope that you're surprised.
You would want your woman to be completely surprised.
Yes.
Would you feel some type of way if she ended up finding out and she told you after the fact?
Based on all the work that I put in, I would feel some type of way just because I'm like, dang, man, like all the stuff I put into, like, about what's about to happen. It's kind of like a waste of. Well, let me not word that wrong. It's not a waste of time or energy. It's like what I wanted the reaction to be would have not been necessarily received wholeheartedly.
Well, some people are
unless you're a great actor.
Or some people are like, I don't mind knowing when it's going to be because that doesn't necessarily mean I know what it's going to be like. So you might be like, okay, he acting kind of funny. I think it's happening this weekend. I'm just going to prep myself. I'm going to make sure everything is perfect. And then I'll be surprised at what he actually ends up doing.
But is that you hoping and wishing? And is he actually ready? Or is he actually about to propose? Or you think that it's just you're hoping that he's off?
No, I think some women really can sense because sometimes the people around them they'll be like so concerned about your nails or so
the
you're
dumb
out of
questions that
character. Like people
ask,
around you are slightly out of character to the point where it's like, okay, it can only be one thing.
Right.
I ain't stupid.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know. I was completely shocked to the point where people were like, okay, Erin, you had no idea? Like, seriously? But I genuinely had no idea because Cameron planned it so well and almost to the point where I'm like, how are you so good at lying? Like, this is actually slightly concerning.
I didn't lie.
Yes, you did, babe.
It was partial truth.
Which is a lie. So anyway, today is as we're recording this, it is our proposal anniversary.
Yes.
We got engaged 4 years ago today, November 16th, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy for sure.
How did that go by so fast? I literally remember that day like yesterday.
What was your favorite part?
The whole thing. The entire thing. My knees literally buckled when he asked me. I was like sobbing.
I really didn't
to the point where he was beginning to be concerned.
I, it's like that she's going to say yes, but it's like, all right, say yes, like say something. Like,
My words could not get out of my mouth. I was just completely frozen.
Okay, so let's talk about our proposal story.
Yeah.
How we got there.
Yeah.
The day of. That is 2019. So almost 1 year to the date you had began on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. And around the day you proposed, I hit 50,000 subscribers.
Was it that week or
it
the
was
week?
I think the week before.
Yeah, the week before you hit 50,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. Congratulations again.
Wow. Thanks.
Go subscribe. No, so you hit 50,000 subscribers. Proposal is in the next week, and by this time I'm just waiting for the date to come.
Yeah.
So all these like great things are happening leading up to. That's actually, when I think about it, concerning, because I'm like, all right, everything else is going way too perfect. Mm-hmm. Is this going to go bad, or is she going to go find out or something like that?
No, my mind was not even in proposal zone because I thought it was coming the next year. Now, I knew it was coming soon, but I didn't think it was then, only because, and I had said, I told my mom and I told my sister, I'm like, if Cameron proposes, it will have to be on our anniversary weekend. Like, that's the only time. I knew you didn't want to do it during the holidays. Like, you didn't want a Christmas proposal or like anything like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I think it's going to be next year because we already have plans. Cameron told me months ago that we had plans for some event that his
happened
friend
to fall on.
And it happened to fall on our anniversary, and it was something that I had been wanting to do, and this was months before, so I'm not thinking he's planned, like, this is the proposal he's telling me about. So I'm like, okay, cool, like, we going to this event, it's not happening, like, and I was fine with that because on the other end, YouTube was booming. Things were just booming. Things were just moving. Like, my mind was not even on,
which is why it was a perfect timing.
It was. Yeah. So I was just, I was content. I knew that we were leading up to marriage, and I knew that we were ready for marriage. I just didn't think that the proposal was happening when it was. Okay, so
how did it start?
Well, a little backstory. When Cameron turned whatever age you was turning, for 2 years, I put these clues in his office. Like, I was like really going crazy with these clues. I need to do that again. That was fun.
I would be interested.
It's harder to do this kind of stuff now though, since we're married. But I put a clue in his work. I put a clue in his car. I put a clue, like, I left one at Beyond Juice. Like, I was like, really, it was so cool. I sent him on like a whole little hunt for these clues.
This was the second time.
Yeah, but because I had done that, I'm thinking when the day started, he gave me a clue. So I'm like, oh, he's paying me back. Like, this is cute. Like, he's doing what I did to him. So everything that he didn't seem so unusual to the point where I would have been suspicious that it was a proposal. I did have whenever I had a slight inkling, I would say something and then he would lie and throw me back off.
Not lie, partial truth.
Lie. So that is like, so the day started, he came, picked me up, and we went to.
No, I came, picked you up. I made you believe that I was on call at work.
Yeah.
So I brought my computer, which I did not have. It was just my empty work book bag. And the whole plan was, when I picked her up, was to create this illusion or
lie that he forgot his bag.
My bag at my parents' house. So I left, got some gas at the gas station, and while we were at the gas station, the plan was for her mom to fill up my book bag with her makeup, and for her to call me to say, "Hey, you forgot your book bag." I'm like, "Oh shoot!" So I'm saying this in front of Aaron, and we go back. I get my book bag, but instead the book bag is filled with
all of my makeup, and stuff. So yes.
Now, let's go back to the night before, because that's when I picked you up. The night before, this was like, everything was already planned out. But I went to every venue to make everything was like straight. So I went to the winery first. the winery store. Went there first to make sure that was laid out. Went to the bed and breakfast where we had the engagement party at, to make sure all the tables and everything was already set up. And then I went to the hotel to lay the. No, I had to. No, I went to the wine bar, Detroit Wine Bar, with with some of my friends, and then I went to go get your dress from your sister, which that was a whole thing because I think she was sick or something like that. But couldn't get in touch with her. But I got the dress, took it back to the hotel. It's like 1 a.m. now. Lay this dress down. Everything was on the bed. I didn't even sleep in this bed while the night before. Because he didn't want
to mess the bed up.
Yeah, so I slept on this couch that was in the hotel room. Anyway, next day is when we got there. We already talked about the makeup. Picked her up, of course, in Aaron's fashion.
I was running late.
We're running a little late.
Because I didn't do my hair. And it was funny because the night before, my mom's cleaning like a mad woman, which I didn't find very suspicious because she just sometimes has these cleaning bouts. But I should have known that she was just overly cleaning. But it was funny because I was like, I don't feel like doing my hair. I was so tired from working the night before. And I was like, I think I'm just going to put my hair in a bun. And my mom was like, are you sure? Cameron likes when you wear your hair down. Aren't y'all going to an event that he scheduled or something? And I was like, I mean, yeah, but he won't really care. Like, it's fine. And I was on the phone with, I can't remember which friend. I think it was our friend Brianna, Mike's wife.
Okay.
And she was like, well, what if you're getting engaged, Aaron? You need to be ready.
Oh, Lord.
But even when she said that, I'm like, girl, I'm not getting engaged tomorrow. Like, but it was kind of starting to be around that time where everybody was like, we were so locked in that it was kind of like, what if it is that, Aaron?
Right.
Like, so I really, if anything, that made me not even more less suspicious because I'm like, okay, if I was really getting engaged, ain't nobody just about to be like, what if you getting engaged tomorrow? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like she would be somebody who would be there. So that's kind of ballsy to be like, what if this is happening tomorrow and you know?
Yeah. Wish she was there.
And she was there. So I'm like, dang, girl. But we get, so when we get in the car, did you give me my first clue when we first got in the car?
Yep.
So he gave me a clue when we first got in the car. Now, mind you, I'm thinking that this day is about to be part work, part fun. Like the first half of the day, he's like, you can vlog, like we'll go take some pictures, like typical work stuff that we do.
Yeah, like every weekend we would go like typically like Saturday morning we would go take pictures because she needed thumbnails
and like Instagram or whatever. So I'm thinking that that's what we're doing. So I'm vlogging. We will go to breakfast. He gives me this clue and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I think you gave me the clue. No, you did. Yeah. It was then. So throughout the day, he's giving me these clues, and I'm like, okay, this is so cute, and it's our dating anniversary. So I'm thinking that he's just doing this for that, even though he.
It's 2 days after their dating anniversary.
Yeah, but it was like our dating anniversary weekend. Yeah. So I'm just thinking like we're working earlier in the day and then we're going to celebrate at whatever this event is at night. So do you want to take it from there?
Yeah, we had breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Then after breakfast, we actually saw my cousins. But because Aaron was running late, we weren't supposed to see them. But we saw them at this breakfast place. And Michelle,
which also helped me not be suspicious because
you're like,
I'm thinking like, oh,
they weren't acting weird. They was chilling.
They weren't acting weird.
They had kids to occupy them too, so they like whatever. Mm-hmm. Then they like, we'll see you later. But so then we go to the mall, bro.
Yeah, because this event, all I have is a dress.
Aaron is talking about she don't have.
So I'm like,
purse.
I don't have earrings. I don't have
shoes.
I don't have a purse. I don't have a coat. Like I don't have anything.
Mind you, I bought a new coat. Did I buy a purse? I bought a new. No,
you didn't buy a purse.
I bought a purse at the. I was expecting her to wear a purse she already had. It's completely out of the budget.
But then I saw a purse and I was like, oh, I have to get this purse. This purse is so cute.
Yeah.
This will go perfectly with my dress. So he ends up buying me this purse at the mall. And then he takes me into a ring store and he's like, let's just go like look at some rings real quick.
And we had done this several times before.
Yeah, we had done this before, but I'm like, because at that point when he bought the purse, I'm like, okay, maybe he's about to propose, but I don't know. But then we go in the ring shop and I'm like, oh, babe, like this one's so pretty. And like, he's like, oh, okay. And he's still acting so oblivious to like how rings work and like, okay, I don't know. Whenever the time comes, like, I don't
Meanwhile,
know
I
what.
researched rings for like 6 months.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe he's not doing it today. So, but that also like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever really been so consumed with that to the point where I was like really expecting it because I was
Yeah.
just enjoying the moment.
Basically,
Like, it
with
was
trying to not to fool yourself into believing
exactly,
that. Yeah.
exactly. So we go to the ring store. We obviously don't buy a ring in there. And then afterward, we go to the hotel or we go take some
No, we
pictures.
go to the
and
coffee
then-
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we take some pictures at a coffee shop, and then
Yep.
he's like, "Okay." Like
I said,
we're-
then the fun begins.
Yeah.
No, then she tries to call her mom. She's like, "Oh my God, today is." She's like, "I'm gonna tell my mom how it was." I'm like, "Today is
No,
not the day.
yeah,
Like this is
exactly.
not today."
because I
I'm
call
like,
my
just
mom for
enjoy
everything.
Everything 50 times a day.
Yes. So we get to the hotel, and I'm like, "Wait, you booked the hotel? Like, and is the room ready? We didn't have to check in or anything." He's like, "Yeah, I know the owner of the hotel," and I'm like, "What? You know the owner of the hotel?" So we get into the room. Our clothes are laid out. Like, I'm like, "Wait, what is happening?" But this is our dating anniversary. So I'm thinking like, oh, he's just trying to be extra, extra, extra cute or whatever. So I ask some more clarifying questions. He continues to lie to me. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm ready to see whatever the heck this event is that we about to go to. And we get dressed, and that's when he tells me, like, I'm like, babe, I don't have any makeup, like, you know how I am, like, I wanted to get dressed or whatever. And he's like, oh, look at my bag. And I open it, and all this makeup's in there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did you do this? It's a miracle. And so we get dressed, we're leaving, get in the car, we go to dinner at this restaurant that overlooks where we had started Black and Gold, which was our first business, and like where we had our first photo shoot for that business. And it was funny too because Randall even messaged me that day, and she was like, "Are you getting engaged today?" And I was like, "Girl, no."
Really?
Yeah, she messaged me on Instagram. I have to scroll back and see if I can.
Oh,
find
that's
that's
insane.
I was like, "Girl, no."
Oh, that's insane.
An hour later, I was blindfolded as we were leaving out of the restaurant. Well, like when we got in the car, he was like, "Put this blindfold on."
I got in the car and I drove.
And he forgot. He almost forgot.
I almost forgot.
Blindfold.
Then I just stopped in the middle of the street and I was like, "Hey, put on this blindfold." And she was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And I had this dash cam in my car, so that got that footage.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing was during the day. She recorded her own beginning to the proposal day. Then I got there inside the car, and then I hired videographers for the actual night.
Yes.
So when we're leaving the restaurant, I stopped, put the blindfold on. We're going back to the hotel, but we're not going into the hotel. We're going to where I'm going to propose at, which is across the street.
Yeah.
And in this place, you know, while we weren't there yet, I had I had like charcuterie stuff and wine that was
like
bought
wine tasting
for our immediate family, our parents and siblings, and aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
So that was that. So we get out the car, we walk across the street. She's blindfolded.
It's freezing outside. I'm literally freezing, and I can see like flashes, but I'm like, is this paparazzi? Like what? I'm like, I didn't know if there was like some type of red carpet or something leading into the event. So I genuinely did not.
And we had went to an event the year before that had all of that.
Yeah,
stuff,
so I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like the event people like taking pictures of us, whatever. But all I know is I was so cold. I'm like, I have to get inside. My dress was like this, like it was a short little cocktail dress, and once we got inside, I'm still blindfolded, and I'm like, okay, like, can I take this thing off? He's like, come on, just follow me. And I just vividly remember chewing this blue piece of
Did I take that out, or no? Or Chrissy took it out.
I don't know, but it's in half of the pictures because my mouth is just wide open. I'm chomping on the gum, or my mouth is wide open because I'm so stuck at the fact that he had asked me to marry him. So we get inside. My best friend from New York takes the blindfold off. So I'm like, what the heck are you doing here? And our family, like our immediate and like some of our close family is there. And I get the last clue. Chrissy gives me the last clue and it says, will you marry me or something like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I look and Cameron, he's standing there and I'm like, wait, what is going on? Because for a split second, I was confused.
Yeah, so I had all this stuff planned for months. And by the time I told her mom was like, you have to say a speech. I wasn't about to argue with that. I gave a little pushback. I'm like, no, it's going to be a whole day. Like, she's not going to hear anything that I'm saying. So anyway, I'm like, all right, I'll do the speech. I'm thinking I'm going to be able to do the speech, but because of how I planned it, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to. But in my mind, I'm like, let me do the speech. So I'm standing there. She's looking at me. I'm like, wait, let me just get down. So that's what happened.
Yeah. So he gets down and I just lose it. And then after that, we go back to the hotel. He's like, it's not over yet. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what else? Like, what?
No, I faked like it was over with, kind of. I'm like, but we're doing something else because Chrissy is here.
Yeah.
And I said, we're going to go to, a spot. Like, we all just going to go kick it.
And then once we got to where we were and we pulled up, I knew that it was like a party. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I go in and all of our family, our friends are there. Like, it's just crazy. Like, custom champagne flutes with our names and the date and like food. And there was a toast. And like, it was just, there was music. And I was just overwhelmed. It was so incredible. Like, it was the best day ever. I always tell Cameron, it's like the best day of my life because I was just so caught off guard in the best way possible. And then the next day, he picks me up from the hotel because he actually ends up letting me and my best friend stay at the hotel. And when he picks us up, I get in the car and there's a box with a big cookie that says she said yes on it. And then there's a stack of papers, like an envelope full of papers that are folded up. And it starts off with January 1st, 2019. And every single day he wrote like a little blurb of what happened that day. Or like, the day he realized he wanted to marry me, the day he like picked out my ring, when he asked my dad, but every single day, even if we got into a little argument, like it was all documented. And so I'm reading this and I'm just sobbing, like absolutely sobbing. And he did it all the way up to the day he proposed, or maybe it was like the day before you proposed.
No, I wrote something for the day of him, like this is the proposal day.
Yeah. And so it was just like the sweetest thing ever. Like, honestly, I loved all of it, but the thing that I still have is the paper. Yeah.
Or the papers.
Yeah, the papers. It was a lot of them. But I just thought that was so caring. And he was like, this is a depiction of what it will look like forever. Yeah. And so it was just very, very, very well thought out and just so sweet and very intentional based on me and like who I am. And I just loved it. And I'm so thankful that I was surprised. And I know some people don't care. Like, they don't care if they're surprised. But for me, I'm so happy that I got to experience our proposal the way that I did. So.
I would say for me, though, the proposal was for the guy. And I wanted to just show her how much I just loved and appreciated her. And I feel like what better way than starting off, and whatever gesture you can start off. And that's why I started planning from January up until November. Like, it was almost an entire year of me planning. Although, like, the venues and things were already booked, before I even got there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it was you were worth the almost year of planning for the proposal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I say that's for the guys. I really took it serious. So, some people may not want to be, some women may not want to be surprised, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think maybe it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
But I think that what makes the proposal, I always say that the proposal was the best day of my life. And maybe the day we got married is the second best day of my life. But Because it just, you feel the love. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, it's love expressed in a way that I've never had love expressed to me,
Yeah.
you know? And the wedding is a little bit different because it's more of the woman making the
Which
decisions.
we could talk
and,
about the
like,
wedding another
yeah,
time.
but
yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
that's the difference to me. It's like, I felt like you were, that was for me and for you as well.
Yeah. That was for you, and it was for me, but it just in a different way. I feel like it serves both.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just one of the most grand time that you can serve and prove that how you're gonna serve your person forevermore.
And it doesn't have to be as elaborate and all of that.
I wouldn't even consider ours elaborate.
Yeah.
It looked like it, but it really wasn't anything out of the usual. The first half of the day was you vlogging, so that wasn't elaborate. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? It was
but
just
I'm
a vlog.
saying, like, you can, however your person is, I feel like that
You
is
cater
what
to them
makes
in that way.
that is what makes it so special. Like, I tease Cameron, and I could say that if you did a helicopter ride over the city or da-da-da-da-da, like, I still feel like what you did for me was more special than something like that, just because that's not necessarily me, you know? What you did was me.
Yeah.
And you can look at all of these elaborate, crazy proposals online, but when you have somebody who pays attention to you and the details of you, that is, to me, what makes not just a proposal special, but just how you show up in our marriage every day special. So.
Yeah. Well, that is our proposal story.
That's our proposal story. We will link our proposal videos. We have it's a 2-part video on my channel, and people literally still talk to us about that. Like, oh my gosh, I still watch your proposal. It was so sweet.
Yeah, it was a great day, the best day of my life. So yeah, for sure.
Well, let us know in the comments what you would rather. If you would rather be very, very surprised to the point where, like, you boohoo, nasty, ugly, crying, or would you rather have an inkling or, like, know when it's going to happen, and you can mentally prepare yourself and, like, physically prepare yourself too. Also, we are excited to be on episode 5. So we wanted to gift a couple with, like, a little gift card.
Yeah.
Maybe like $100 date night visa.
Yeah.
So in order to enter, you need to leave a comment. And you need to follow us on Instagram on Sips of Success. That's all you need to do is leave some type of comment, give us some feedback, or answer the this or that, and then follow us on Instagram. We are going to be checking, so that is that. Otherwise, we will leave the recipe for the mule in the show notes, in the description, wherever you're listening, and that is it.
Yeah. So if you rock with me, then you rock with us. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.